guys, Mac with the Outer Circle. Let's talk about this new Forge World better service, faster shipping model. Forge World is setting up a new warehouse in Memphis, and they're going to be switching over currencies on their webpage to reflect your national currency. If you're in America, it'll come up in US dollars. If you're in Australia, Australian dollars. If you're in Japan, it'll come up in yen. So, what does this mean? Well, first things first, they've said the prices are fixed. What can I deduce from this? Well, I can tell you this. The prices are going to be higher than if you bought models from Forge World today. Why do I know this? Because they're never, ever, ever going to set it at a fair conversion rate. They're going to look for what if the American dollar is higher in the future? What if the Australian dollar is higher? What if the pound is just lower in general? So, in order to offset that possible risk of maybe, Thursday next week, the pound will dip a little, well, we don't want to lose any money on Thursday, so instead, we're just going to set the price at, say, as if the pound was really strong. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Mark my words. This is Games Workshop, right? This is the most cynical company I know of in the wargaming industry anyway. There's plenty of people who do similar levels of stuff in, say, computer games. It would probably be EA, maybe Activision, Blizzard. You've always got Apple in the computers market. Oh, they're really good at price gouging. Exact same hardware as someone else, but slap that Apple logo on, look at the price go up. Look, we're going to get screwed over. And what kind of screw over are we talking here? Well, let's look at this. This is the Mumak War Leader from Forge World. 75 British pounds. For that price, you get a Mumak, you get a resin upgrade kit, so a complete new set of tusks. You get a guy riding it on the back. You also get the Mahud War Chieftain on foot. Obviously, the guys riding in the back are not included, just the guy driving it up front. From Games Workshop Australia, $138 for a War Mumak with no resin upgrades, and that's 60 British pounds. Well, let's pull up the old currency converter and let's do some maths. So, 60 pounds is 104 Australian dollars. Well, that's quite a bit shy of the 138 Australian dollars that we're seeing right here. So, already you're being gouged $34 roughly, just for the privilege of being in Australia over the British pound. Now, of course, people will turn around at this point and say, oh, well, Mackie, Australians earn more than the British, even though it's like fuck all in reality, once you take out the millionaires skewing the results, but ignore that. Australians earn more, it's really far to ship, there's high taxes, blah, blah, blah. Interesting thoughts, but all of which are wrong. But since I've covered them 101 times before, why cover them again? Of course, the people who ask these questions never go and look at the other videos, that's why I have to bring it up. But you see, that 60 British pounds includes VAT. That's a 20% tax. So that 60, it's higher than it really should be if you're going to go for cost comparison. But I digress. From Forge World, 75 pounds, 130 Australian dollars. So not only can I order the same model from Forge World, I can get it with fully upgraded resin tusks. I can get it with 2 crew members included, and it's still going to be cheaper. Alright, let's try something else. What about Cataphractii Terminators and Cataphractii with Storm Shields from Forge World. So, alright, what have we got here? Just update my third window. So, Cataphractii Terminators, 40 British pounds. 69.76 Australian. That's quite a bit different to the 115 Australian that they're sold to us for. It's a little bit under double, let's say 2/3, maybe 3/5, something like that, of the cost. what if I got these guys instead then? They're £54. 94 Australian dollars. So I can get Cataphractii in Australia for 115, or for $21 less, I could get 5 Cataphractii with Storm Shields from Forge World. So all the same parts plus 5 Storm Shields. Well, that's a bargain. Yes, that is a bargain. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Why? Because they're going to fix the prices. They are going to lock us into having prices that do not reflect the currency exchange rate fairly. On top of that, these prices given include VAT, 20%. So on a $54 model, that's what, $11 roughly, or £11, sorry. They're not going to remove that £11. You see, the import tariff and the GST combined in Australia is only about 16%. That's less than the VAT you pay in England. Yeah, okay, there's shipping costs, things like that. 3 cents per unit, roughly. 3 cents a box to ship from the UK to Australia, and then another 2 cents per unit for road freight around Australia that will get you to any Games Workshop store. I know, I've done the maths, I've even shown the currency calculators before, the tax calculators, everything on the channel. So, basically, I know no matter what, we're going to end up worse off for this. But that isn't the part that really annoys me. You see, you kind of expect a company to gouge you. But when they do, you want them to be upfront about it. You want them to be honest. You want them to say, we're doing this for this reason, or here's our evidence behind this. Instead, the company remains tight-lipped all the time on the matter. And all these people come out of the woodwork and they go, well, you know, it's because of taxes, because you earn more, and all these other things. The company doesn't need you to apologise for them, okay? What they need to do is actually use their social media, get out and engage with the players. Because right now, there's over 200 comments on their thread announcing this on their Facebook page. The same one they say to go and visit and we'll keep you updated. Now, the interesting thing is, right, they say all these updates we're having later this month, keep an eye on our Forge World Facebook page, blah, blah, blah. But 200 something people have commented. About every 8 comments, there's a person saying, what is happening with the pricing in Australia? Or what is happening in the pricing in New Zealand? Or what is happening in the pricing in America? Or are you removing the VAT before you do these conversions? None of these people have been answered. None. Why is this? Because Games Workshop doesn't have the answer you want. And they know they don't have the answer you want. They are going to play dumb. And if they do speak to you and give you an answer, it'll be like all those last chance to buy answers they give you. And this is the infuriating part of dealing with the company. They are like politicians. If you say to them, are you going to do this? They'll go, we insist that we will deliver the finest quality miniatures to you around the world, blah, 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 and we will focus on great quality miniatures and shipping in a timely manner. That's great. You didn't answer the question. You know, it's like when you look at a politician on TV and you're like, hey, you're going to fix the roads. And they're like, well, we are forming a committee to look into the issue of roads. That wasn't the question. The question wasn't, are you forming a committee? The question is, are you going to fix the roads? Well, it's the same thing. People are asking, are you going to remove the 20% VAT that's on your miniatures? And then, are you going to convert them over fairly or not? And people aren't getting the answer, because the only answer Games Workshop would have to give is either a bullshit one like a politician, or no, we are going to set at a price where there is absolutely minimal risk of us losing any money. And hey, that is fine. If they come out and turn around and say that, that's fine. But they do not have the balls to come out and say that. They don't have the balls as a company to turn around and say, look, we're charging you this because we think we can get away with it. You're going to buy from us anyway. Look how many people don't care what Titanicus is going to cost in Australia. They're going to go out and buy it, let's face it. They're not going to say that to you. No, they're the typical company that they think you're a dumb consumer. They're not going to turn around and actually say it to your face, though. They'll give you the political double talk, the runaround, that kind of thing. And of course, people right now are going, "Oh, Mackie, you're so salty, you're so cynical." But I'm not wrong. Turn around and demonstrate to me that I'm wrong. Show me where we earn so much more money and our rents are so much higher in the UK that it justifies 60% price increases. You tell me why I can buy a unit with resin parts included and ship it over here and still save money over the same miniatures bought in plastic in this country. You show me where shipping is so high that I have to add 60% to anything I sell. Now, don't get me wrong, Games Workshop is not the only company that does this. As I stated before, Apple is one of the worst for this. Okay? But at the same time, there are companies like Adobe who've pulled this shit on Australians before, and finally, the government actually got off their ass, or the consumer watchdog, and actually fined them for it. And they went, no, because they found out that for some Adobe software, you could fly over to the United States, buy it in a store over in the United States, fly all the way back to Australia, and it would be cheaper than buying it online in Australia. That's how much of a markup there was. That's something that would make Games Workshop proud, actually. So, there is a finite limit to this stuff, and yeah, Games Workshop aren't the only people that gouge the customers. But it's got to stop. If you want people to buy this product, because remember, it's a premium product already, okay? And remembering there is a lot of competition out there that offer models that are just as good as Games Workshop these days. A lot of people will dispute that fact, but a lot of people will agree with me. I have a massive army of Game of Thrones rocked up from a Kickstarter. The models are beautiful in that. And what's more, they're all pre-assembled, pre-based. I can play with them straight out of the box. I don't need to glue them together, I don't even need to clip them together. I can literally just pick them up out of the box and play them, and they cost nowhere near what Games Workshop does. Battletech, spoke about it on the video yesterday with the pricing for Titanicus. £175 in the UK will get you 2, admittedly large, Warlord Titans, 6 knights, your rules, and a couple of buildings. But the $30 will get you a whole Battletech starting force. And the people who play the game all love it. In fact, I aim to do some videos on it in the near future with friends who play a lot of it. So there is that. Anyway, the point I'm getting at here is this is not a good thing for the consumer at this stage, because having social media is fine if you're transparent with it. They're not. Social media is nothing more than marketing for Forge World / Games Workshop. It is not a means of being transparent and actually engaging with the community. They don't want to answer the hard questions. There's not actual feedback. There's not actual toing and froing between the community and the company. There is not actual feedback from us to them being taken on board. When people ask questions like, what's happening with all these last chances to buy? And after 5 months, we're still getting the, we need to make room for more products answer. Is that truly good enough? And no, the answer is it's not good enough. But for some reason, people are defending them. Oh, the company is so much better now. Yeah, it is better than what it was when it was the worst company in the miniatures industry. That's great. That's like saying this old piece of shit car, which has a fucked interior, had 4 blown tyres, has an engine that doesn't run. Well, I got 1 new tyre for it. Great. Still a fucked car. And that to me is Games Workshop. They're a company that produces good miniatures. They're a company which has the potential to be a market leader well into the future. But instead, they're so focused on the profits, and they're not the type of company that wants to engage with their community, except on their terms. And that's fine. Again, some companies are like that, like Electronic Arts. But you have other companies like CD Projekt Red, which will get out there and they'll say, hey, look, here's some stuff we're working on in the studio, give us some hard questions, some honest feedback. Do you like this? Do you like that? We're trying to make the best product we can here. Sorry that this person's upset you, or whatever. They're a really good company to deal with. Games Workshop is not. This is a company that gives you the runaround. They give you the politician's answers. When you try and go to them and say, here is a question about pricing, or like, how many people do you think have asked them about pricing in Australia, America, VAT, that kind of thing? Thousands? Many thousands. If you're going off the approximately 1 to 8 comments that seem to pop up pretty frequently, and considering that Forge World's Facebook page has almost 100,000 people on it, that means you're probably looking at around the 12,000 people having some way, shape, or another at some point probably turned around. I mean, this is kind of being pulled from my ass, let's be honest. But that could be up to 12,000 people have turned around at some point and questioned the pricing to the company. And how many of them have actually got an answer from the company? Not from some fucking expert on Facebook who turns around and goes, well, you know, the median wage in your town happens to be 3.4% higher, therefore 3.4% higher increase in miniature prices is clearly justified. No, right? We don't need that person, we need the company to give us the answers. And that's why I'm just droning on and on and on right now. Because I want the company to get off their ass and actually put people on their Facebook community portals who will answer questions. We should be able to go to them like we can with other miniature companies and say, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? And get an answer. And if they get sick of being asked the same thing 100 times, maybe put a post up specifically about that one thing. Hey, here is what is happening with X. That is true community engagement. Because right now, they don't have that. Right now, what they have is a Facebook page that they put ads up for their site on. People go and talk to them, and then they only respond to you if you're saying something like, I love your games, they're the best. They go, thanks for the like, Peter. You know, or you post up a picture of your models. Here's the Imperial Night House I'm currently working on. Oh, that looks great, Tom. Can't wait to see it finished. And then someone turns up and they're like, hey, Games Workshop, I just noticed that you're charging a 20% VAT on everything that's going out of your European stores to people that aren't in the EU. Is there any reason behind this? And all you hear is the fucking chirping of crickets. Anyway, I'm Mac with the Outer Circle. This was a classic Macca Angry Rant. Hope you got your daily salt intake. You know, it's important to keep the electrolytes up. If you don't get enough salt, you will die. And, you know, I'm just doing my bit for you, really. Honestly. See you all next time.